find. But it's great.
Okay.
Really good.
Did you YouTube it?
No, this was like back in the days of the internet where they only had like AOL.
Yeah.
And anything on the AOL homepage was all that existed in humanity.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
Still
there's
trading
on
cassettes
YouTube.
for rehearsals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can fit like an iPod, an iPhone.
It's mostly just for
In it?
yeah. I don't have a phone. I think I'm over 25 years old.
That.
Yeah.
If I didn't have kids, I probably would have thrown mine out the window too.
I already threw it up. Put it on sale.
I don't trust cell phones. I mean, like I don't want my brain microwaved,
Yeah,
On top of that, they
I
can track
agree.
you with the phone
Yeah.
off. They can home in on the phones just to tell where you are.
They know everything.
Yep,
when
they
we're
do.
born.
They do.
Yeah. From Facebook to your email to everything.
Heck yeah.
I don't think I'd be interesting enough for anyone to want to like follow.
No.
Really?
I don't know
Yeah.
about all that.
Yeah, you're pretty.
Anything I do that I wouldn't want people to see, I wouldn't write about.
Yeah.
Or put on Facebook.
That's the thing. You get yourself in trouble that way.
Yeah.
Not other people.
So let's see. I'll ask you two inevitable questions. First, you've toured with Kid Rock for how many years?
Like over 2 years now.
Okay, so what people are going to want to hear is Kid Rock, the badass mother that publicized as, or is he a really quiet guy who sits around and reads John Keats at night?
He's actually, I think he's a really kind of a bashful dude. He's pretty quiet. Doesn't mean he doesn't like to party and hang out and have a good time and stuff, but he's a pretty quiet guy. I mean, he doesn't have to be the center of attention, and when we go out and hang out and stuff, it's pretty chill. I mean, he ends up being the center of attention, but he's pretty noticeable. But yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, I have a blast with it, and I really enjoy being around him. He's a super hard worker, though.
Yeah.
Barely
Well, pro shows.
Like he's up at the crack of dawn, doing work, and he's a really smart businessman.
Right on. So, what albums, what songs or artists made you want to get into this crazy ass business? You don't like that one, eh?
It's the truth.
What artist? Well, Kid Johnny Lang, The Big Bang. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota, so Johnny and I grew up together. So when he hit, before he hit, and he just had his first album, that was what made me realize that I didn't have to wait till I was 18 and try and save up money to get out of Fargo and go play coffee shops or on the street in Minneapolis. I realized you could actually make a career for yourself, and you don't have to wait till you're done with college or that kind of thing. So Smokin' was that album. Rory Block, When a Woman Gets the Blues, absolutely adore that album. I'm a big John Prine fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big John Prine fan.
Harry Nilsson.
Oh yeah, Harry Nilsson. Yeah,
Doesn't
Nilsson,
get recognized enough.
Schmilson. That was a great album.
What's your favorite Harry Nilsson song?
What was the one we listened to yesterday? Gotta get up.
Gotta get up. The morning comes, but if I'm late, got a big day.
I can't name it though.
I don't know the names of any songs.
Gotta get up, maybe.
Maybe.
The name of it.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm a
say
big
it is.
I'll just say it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, that's what it says the most. So.
Yeah, that's usually the way it works. That's what you gotta do.
But yeah, I don't know. I like all sorts of stuff, but I'm a melody person, man. I just like a melody. I don't really care what it's in.
Cool.
Not annoying melodies. Not really great melodies that are super annoying. It has to be non-annoying.
What's an example of
Melodies.
an annoying melody? Let's piss off a songwriter.
Oh God. Well.
Don't do any name drops.
Yeah, in our house we have a 4-year-old, 11, 14, and 16-year-old kids. So we get all the really awesome annoying songs.
Yes.
Ah,
I think you just.
that's like the worst part of motherhood. That's the worst part of motherhood is their song selection. It really is.
You think they'd have a good one being around you?
It's like, yep.
Well, they have their moments.
Yeah.
Well, they also have their awful, like top 40, but just really gnarly songs. What's that girl that's from here that Justin Bieber like?
From here?
Carly Rae
Yeah.
Jepsen?
Yeah, what's that song? Call Me Maybe.
Call Me Maybe. Yeah.
Oh my God. My 4-year-old, that's what she sings. And like when I've called her since I've been gone, you know, this last day on the road, she's like, ooh, so call me maybe. It's like, oh, stop it,
That's not
please.
good.
Yeah.
Not good.
I've actually interviewed Carly Rae, and she is a sweetheart. And you know what? She got her hit. You know, and oh my God, has she got her hit?
To each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, over to you. What would you like to ask Sharon or Shannon?
Human slapped himself in the face for all of you.
Yes, I did.
That can't see him.
We are professionals.
Question, as a musician myself, I think that
Still pouring
you
down?
relate more to the
Still pouring down good?
you getting out there and doing your thing. How old were you? And like you said, you didn't do the playing on the streets, and that you're kind of like, you're lucky in that sense, right? You didn't really have to work your way up, or were you?
I did. I started when I was 7.
Guitar or singing?
No, singing.
Okay.
And I sang country for the first 3 years. Really old, like traditional kind of country. So yeah, I started working when I was 7. At 10, it was about 3 years in where I realized sometimes musicians aren't the most reliable of people. Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to make sure a show was going to
You yourself.
get done, yeah, then maybe I should learn an instrument and you know, being like the Led Zeppelin type fan that I am, guitar was the obvious choice. So I started playing guitar. I had some funk and R&B, like old school R&B, you know, cover bands, blues cover bands, classic rock cover bands, and then I started writing songs when I was 12, and I guess I got signed when I was 13, and I had already done my album, then Arista Records bought the album from me and re-released it.
Wow.
So, I was pretty lucky, but it definitely, you know, where I was at 14 is completely different now, and it's such a different ball game in the industry, and I went to a couple other major labels, and just, I really lost my love of music. So I had to get out of it and regroup and just go back home and sit for a while and figure out if there was even a spot for me to do music where I wouldn't lose my passion for it, because it just wasn't worth it to me to do it as a career if that was what I had to sacrifice.
Right.
So,
and a lot of people do, and that has been in the last couple of days that we've been doing interviews. That has been the word of advice, basically, is to be true to yourself. And I think that that's the hardest thing for myself, anyways, because I wasn't 7, 10, 13. You know, I just started a couple of years ago. So at that, you know, that point where you're like, well, what do people want to see, or what do they want to hear?
Well, I tell you what,
go back to being yourself.
Yeah, and there's so many more hang-ups. And now that I'm a mom, you know, and I have all these kids running around and stuff, I see in them how I was when I was that age. You know, they aren't running companies or anything like I was at their ages, but I see where it's almost like they have their blinders up, you know. It's not about the outside, you know, you're not so affected by outside things.
Not corrupted yet.
Yeah, you know, and you know, on my first album, I have one song that's 12-bar blues. Because I simply didn't know better. I just, you know, like, it's not that I should have done just 12-bar blues for my whole album or whatever. It's not like but I didn't have, like, I didn't have a structure set in my head.
But then you build, right?
For how to write, yeah. So it was. I think it's a lot easier when you start younger at certain things.
Oh, for sure.
You just don't limit yourself.
Yeah. And you kind of go in with, like you said, with the blinders on.
Yeah.
Whereas when you start at 20-something, you're like, oh, you already know.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of pluses for you too.
Yeah.
Though, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You have to look at it on the right side.
Yeah.
It's great. Thank you very much. Anything else from?
Cool. Well, basically, what I always do with an interview. Oh, actually, yeah. Question. What does your tattoo read? Because I can see most of it.
Okay.
666, the number of the beast.
It says, "And you, liar, teller of tall tales, you trample all the Lord's commandments underfoot. You murder, steal, commit adultery, and afterward break into tears, beat your breast, take down your guitar, and turn the sin into a song. Shrewd devil, you know very well God pardons sinners no matter what they do, because he can simply die for a song."
Where's that from?
It's from The Last Temptation of Christ.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So last thing that I always ask artists is that anything you want to talk about, anything you want the viewers and listeners to know, it can be anything about music, stuff you want to pass on, or there's this awesome place for ribs, in Fargo. Whatever you want to say, Shannon, time's yours.
Well, okay. First, I guess my question, what I want to say is a question to you guys. Where do you get, like, the best, what's it called, poutine?
Poutine?
Yeah, poutine. I think there's some here, isn't there?
Yeah.
At the festival.
Oh.
The best, though, I don't know. My mom's kitchen, I'm sure.
Oh, man. So what's something that like, families have recipes for it, that kind of thing?
Pardon me?
Like, you have family recipes, is that kind of thing? Like, we have hot dish, or, in Minnesota, that's the big thing. Everyone has their own hot dish.
In Thunder Bay, it's Persians. It's a dessert. How would you describe it? It's like a donut with a...
with strawberry icing on top, and occasionally deep fried.
It is delicious.
It'll clog your arteries in seconds.
Yeah. So you have
Might
the
be worth it.
poutine. No, you have some thin pancakes from the Hoito, and then have a poutine, and then after your dessert, your Persian. And
Well, you guys really like carbs.
Yeah,
and a Diet
You
Coke,
guys are carb fanatics. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess as far as anything to say, I love keeping up with people. I love having relationships with the people that come to our shows. So I'm on Facebook. I always answer everything. I hate Twitter, but I'll do it if I have to. Otherwise, you can email me at curfman.com and stuff like that. But I love correspondence. It's kind of my hobby, I guess, once all the kids are in bed.
We'll be in touch. Thanks a million, Shannon, and excellent set.
Thank you so much.
Loved it.